Hi, I'm Gary from Raz Rentals. In the mid-80s, the real Ghostbusters toy line started out strong. In the first year, they gave us Slimer and Stay Puft, who were in the movie of course, and then we got 6 other really awesome looking ghosts. And, in my opinion, the Gooper Ghosts sat on top of the Ghostbusters' crazy, creepy, paranormal bestiary. I don't even need Tobin's Spirit Guide to tell me how great they were. During the second year of the real Ghostbusters toy line, Kenner continued to give us more and more ghosts. Each ghost kind of had a little action feature, and usually their design was based around that action feature. Now, there are 3 ghosts that came out that continue the Gooper Ghost line. First, you have the mini ghosts, the mini Goopers. Now, these guys are obviously a lot smaller than the original Gooper Ghosts, and also their action feature is nowhere near as exciting. And you have one last Gooper Ghost, one final big one, though not as big as these guys. You have the Green Ghost Gooper Ghost, or, as you probably know him, Slimer. First, let's talk about the mini Goopers. Now, both of these guys came together on a card instead of a box like the original Gooper Ghosts, and both of them lack the bulk and detail of the main Gooper Ghosts, but they do offer a nice medium-sized threat for the real Ghostbusters. The Gooper Ghosts have their own names, and this is Brain Matter. Brain Matter is my favorite of the two. I like his dark blue color, and I like all the detail in his brain. His plastic is kind of see-through, which is pretty neat. And you can see the bottom of him here. The top. Now, if you were playing with these guys, you'd pop their heads open, and you'd fill this up with Ecto Plazm, you'd close it, and then I guess you would just kind of open it up on your Ghostbusters. Like I said, not the best action feature, but still cool. This is Stomach Stuff. Now, I don't like Stomach Stuff as much as Brain Matter because I kind of don't like his color. I think that the color of his eyes and his teeth don't contrast enough with the color of his body. So, altogether, he looks a little monotone. I like the sculpt. I like his big, huge teethy grin. He's kind of shaped like an egg a little bit. He kind of reminds me of that, candy you would get on Easter that would be, really big and in the shape of, an Easter bunny or something like that. It'd be like a huge lollipop, but just a little different. It used to come in this kind of color. If you know what that's called, let me know. If you want to have some more fun with these guys, what you can do is you can pull them apart and then switch their halves. So that is pretty neat. Also, as a bonus, during the 80s, Roy Rogers had a kid's meal toy that was kind of like a knockoff of these mini Goopers. I only have these, but I think that there are 4 different molds and they all come in different colors. Multiple colors of each. And like I said, these just open up just like the other guys, and you can swap them apart a piece and do whatever you want. Now, a little bit, we're going to take a look and see how these guys use their action features with the Ecto Plazm. But first, we're going to look at the Green Ghost Gooper Ghost, or as I'd like to call him, Slimer. I did like Slimer a lot as a kid, but me and him had a huge falling out whenever they switched the show from the real Ghostbusters to Slimer and the real Ghostbusters. I still liked watching the first half where it would play a regular real Ghostbusters episode, but I never got into the Slimer part of the cartoon. Whenever they switched animation and made it more cartoony, and I love cartoony cartoons. I love Looney Tunes and Animaniacs and Tiny Toons and all that kind of stuff, but it just did nothing for me. You know, when I was wanted to watch the real Ghostbusters, I wanted to see something serious and scary, something that when I was a kid made me feel like mature, you know? So I just didn't really like it as much. The Slimer comes in two parts, and I don't have the box to this guy, so I can't show you the artwork, but it is really cool looking. I suggest you go check it out somewhere. First, he comes with the actual Slimer piece, which is a very nice... this sculpt looks a lot more like the sculpt, like how he looks in the cartoon than the original Slimer figure does. The original Slimer figure looks a little nastier and meaner, but this one has more of that, like, you know, goofy, happy-go-lucky kind of Slimer face. And the second part of him is this Proton Pack. The Proton Pack guns can move around to pretend like you're blasting ghosts. And they go all the way around. Same thing with his arms. His arms can go 360. And there's this plunger on top. So you can put Ecto Plazm in there. Push it down with this. Come on. And then it comes out the mouth. There's a... I'm going to be very careful here because I don't want to rip the rubber here around this hole. But, you know, this goes through the back of him and out his mouth. So it can look like he is like... it looks more like he's drooling than it does look like an offensive attack. Like the other Gooper Ghosts, you know, they're obviously sliming the Ghostbusters. But this Slimer, he's just kind of like spitting up all over himself. Now, as you can see, I have filled these guys up with the slime that I have. Now, there's no trigger or any kind of mechanism to open these guys up. You just got to pull them apart on your unsuspecting victim. Or you're expecting, maybe Ray will see them coming. Alright, so you got Ray here, and you just got these guys, and they just kind of move in and slime him. I don't know. These are... I don't know. Just not as cool as those giant Gooper Ghosts. So, that leaves us with the final Gooper Ghost, Slimer. Now, who would Slimer slime? Why, Peter Venkman, of course. Now, his action feature works pretty much like Squishers. You know, you just gotta fill up his reservoir of ectoplasm. Let's try to get some of this in here. I won't put too much in there because I don't want it overflowing at the top. This looks like a pretty good amount. I also like the color of the slime because it reminds me of the mood slime from Ghostbusters 2. So picture it. It's Friday night and Pete's sitting there thinking, boy, I can't wait to go on my date tonight with Cookie Watson. She was Miss Staten Island last year. Meanwhile, Slimer's thinking, oh, come on. Need a little bit extra force here. Now, this just kind of comes out in one... I don't know. I'm going to try this again, I think. Okay, so take two. It's Friday night, and Pete's thinking, boy, I can't wait to go on my date tonight with Cookie Watson. She was Miss Staten Island last year. And meanwhile, Slimer's up at the top thinking, Cookie. Cookie. I can't do it. Cookie. Something like that. And he looks up, he's like, what? Spud! I just washed these clothes, you know. Now the problem is it comes out in too much of a ball of a, you know, mess. It'd be better if it was like drooling out the sides. Maybe if I used a thinner slime, it would look a little nicer. This just proves how difficult it is working with a ghost when you're trying to catch ghosts. You know, these ghosts are sliming these guys. Peter could have came in to try to help them, and then Slimer accidentally slimes or drools all over poor Peter Venkman. You know, this is the first time I've ever this is the first time I've ever used Ecto Plazm with any of these ghosts. And I gotta say, it's pretty cool. You know, and now I'm probably never going to do it again because I'm going to wash these guys off and I'm going to put them up on my shelf and leave them alone. So let me know what you think. Did you like Slimer in the Real Ghostbusters? If you did, don't worry, I won't judge you, but I just couldn't get past it. I will agree that there were some good episodes after the change and the shift. You know, Flipside was a great episode. The Brooklyn Triangle, where they had Winston's dad, that was a great episode. Poultrygeist, Follow That Hearse, and even the Halloween Door. Those were all favorites of mine, but, you know, for me personally, I love that first 78 episode run, especially with Lorenzo music. So, glad you watched all these if you did, and talk to you later.